And yes, we're starting a minute and a half early today. Um, I have, well, I was going to leave you live, but I guess it would help if I changed to my right. That's what happens when you start early. You're not ready. At least not me. Hey, JB. Hey, Michael, your kits are great. They look great. They're just not my era. Audio check's good. Thank you, John. I was waiting for that before I proceeded further. Hey, I wanted to let everybody know on the front side here, we had some sad news this week. Mr. John Linton, C and EI John, he changed his name to, lost his wife of 41 years on Wednesday early morning. So he's going to join us. God bless him. And he said he needs to keep moving on. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring John up. And oops, John, there you are.
Morning, all.
Hey, John, welcome, and again, condolences. And you're a better man than I, because I'm sure I could not sit in a live stream a couple days after what you've gone through. So, but anyway, so who's come in? Joe Rader come in? Joe, you snuck in on me, buddy. Good morning. Hi, Aunt Anthony. Good morning. And I know there's a long delay. So anyway, you may notice behind me, I don't think I had it working last Friday. Did I, John?
Yes, but remember you were missing some sensors.
Yeah, and it was running real fast. That's
yes.
Right. It was running on manual, I think. All right. Hey, Dwight. And Lynn, welcome. So, yeah, I keep watching it back there. Of course, that Brill trolley, I think it's IHM, IHC or AHM, they're all the same. Brill trolley, I think Tyco had it originally, and I could be wrong. Or the gears in the I call it's like that 70 tonner over Aurora. It's a grinder. It doesn't need a sound chip because it sounds like a grinder. And prototypically, Chicago didn't have trolleys like this. Okay, they had the L-Trax and Subway, the light rail system, and like New York. And but they did have electrified buses, so that's kind of what I'm trying to represent here. All right, electrified buses went away in the 60s, about the era within the era that I model. So hey, Alan, Mason-Dixon Railroad, welcome. So let's talk about some faux pas. All right. Last Friday, I was waiting for the intermediate sensor. Well, I think I did. I had the Motorman running, John. I just didn't have the intermediate sensor.
Right.
I was waiting for the sensors.
That's
what the problem was. So now you'll notice when it's coming clockwise, all right, it stops here. And of course, it stops at each end. And the Motorman, most of you may know this already, it'll run DC, it'll run DCC, or it'll run whatever you have hooked up to it in a manual setting like DC or DCC. So the end sensors, you can program those to on the length of time you want the loco to pause. Right now, I think I have it set for like 20 seconds or something like that. And you can also, if it's on DCC mode and you have a sound unit, you can program it to blow the horn or bells or whatever else you want it to do, all right, automatically on the DCC. But this is DC. All right, you saw it pause there. Now, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for 2 intermediate sensors to arrive, and they arrived last Friday after the live stream. All right, and when I opened up the box, that and the plate with the optional manual control plate. And I thought the sensors were 2 to a pack. I thought wrong again.
No, I can't believe that.
Yeah. Did Lee sneak in on us? Where's Lee? I didn't see Lee.
Yeah,
Lee?
he was there.
Is he? Lee! Yeah. All right. Anyway. Hey, Lee. So only one came. All right. And I'm going, So I went ahead and installed it at Union Station. And I immediately went and ordered another, but I sent an email to them because the sensor I got had 4 wires to it instead of 3. So it threw me for a loop. So I had to get a hold of Iowa Scaled Engineering and talk to them. And what it was, they have some of their sensors, train spotter sensors, wired so that you can wire it when it trips, it will stop, or when it trips, it will go. Okay, normally open versus normally closed settings. And they told me, yeah, just disregard the blue wire and wire it up the same as the ones that came with the Motorman. I said, oh, great, okay. But they only came with 2 feet cord, so I had to extend the 3 wires that they had. All right. So when I ordered the other one I needed, I ordered it with the 5-foot or 6-foot wiring because it will go on this side over here, and the Motorman's is on the other side over there. Hey, hi. There's Hi. Okay. And there's Lee. Okay. So it's been an interesting week, and that other sensor is due to arrive in today's mail. That said, today's mail won't be here before the end of the stream. Typically it's not here before the end of the stream, so I'm not expecting it till later. But then I had another unexpected thing. If you notice, the streetcar only stops when it's going in one direction. Because when you wire the sensor to the intermediate stops, it's either left or right. Well, the Motorman is set up where if you want it to stop the exact same place, you need, go in both directions, you need 2 sensors there. One, because after it trips, it'll travel a certain given distance. So you need to be able to adjust that on each end to have it stop at the exact same place. And I said, huh. And I said, well, can't I just jumper across and have it stop, have the one sensor trigger it both ways? And they said, yeah, you can do that, but it won't be stopping in the exact same place. I said, I don't care. When it's going one way, it's headed off to the south side of Chicago. When it's going the other way, it's headed into the loop. So it can be 2 separate bus stops, so to speak. All right, so it works for me. So when the other sensor gets here, I will jumper it off. When I wire in the other one over here, I will jumper them so that the trolley will stop going both directions, roughly in this, within 6 inches of each other. Different bus stops.
And Steve, you may want to explain the building setting on your track too.
Yeah, I thought I did last week, but we may have new people here. We got this building sitting. Can you see it?
Yes.
Really?
Hmm.
I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, let me raise it up a little bit. Bad. Now you can see it. Got a building sitting here. Okay. This whole, if you recall, there's a scene divider back here between Van Buren Street and the west side of Chicago Union Station. Okay. And I don't want to put it up, take it down, put it up, take it down until I have all the infrastructure done, such as putting the sensor and a couple more copper tape bus leads for additional lighting, street lights and stuff up here. But that should be done next week. So anyway, let's get back to the buildings. So this whole area back here will be background buildings, not flats, but buildings like this one. Okay. And I have, I don't have all the ones I need yet, but I have a good amount of them. City Classics has these 5-story buildings, and they have 4 of them. So, and they're just a little deeper than what this area is, so I'll have to shave them off a little bit. But the L tracks will be here. So the side of the building here on the end will be cut away, so the tracks go inside the building. Okay, but no one will ever see it because it's camouflaged from the L tracks. All right, does that make sense, John?
Yes.
Am I doing a good job explaining? Kind of.
Sort of, kind of.
All right. If anybody has questions,
typical.
monitor the chat if you would for me, and let me know if anybody had questions come up because I can't see it. So you'll have these buildings sitting here all the way down the row. Okay, so the trolley will go inside the buildings. In the manual modes, the operator can send it all the way through and go all the way around. Of course, in the motorman mode, it'll stop like it's doing now. Okay. Now I just have this one sitting here for the old saying shits and giggles, I guess.
And Bernard said, clear as my coffee.
You need to drink stronger coffee.
Yes.
You'll just have to wait and see the progress, Bernard.
Now, Steve, here's a question for you from me.
Okay.
Are you going to build those buildings completely, or are you going to save the sides and backs for scratch building, since they'll be up against each other and not be seen? Is that correct?
Yeah, to a certain degree. Okay. What I'm going to, City Classics, all right, are the most affordable. I mean, they're really nothing to these kids, 4 walls and a ceiling type situation. It's more in the painting and detailing, adding window shades and interiors and stuff like that. So I'm going to take and cut some. I'm going to buy, there's 4 of them. I'm going to buy, I got 3. I got to find the original one. And then I want to buy the same kits. I want 2 of every kit because I want to be able to cut some down to 3 and 4 stories so that I can vary them along this back wall. They won't be the only buildings on the back wall. But they're a good representation of what the type of building I'm looking for and the era I'm looking for. Buildings built in the 20s, as an example, 20s and 30s. Even though the layout's the 60s, it was really before the modernization of Chicago. The modernization of Chicago didn't start until the late 50s. All right, with the Prudential building. All right, and that I think it was finished in 57 or 58. So, and you go to Union Station now. Well, there was actually another portion of Union Station on the east side of the main Great Hall building, and that's where all the tracks were. In actuality, you entered through the main station, the Great Hall, and then you went down underneath. I think it was Canal Street, over the other building where the tracks were. So, but anyway, so that's kind of what we're working on there. And the next stage, I'm debating what, and John, maybe I should put a poll up or something. After I get the infrastructure done, which is the sensor and some more copper tape bars for streetlights and stuff under here, I have 3 directions I can go. I can go Union Station, I can go background, or on this end, way down here, is the Chicago Post Office, which is an extreme kit bash. I got 2 of the Walthers big post office kits that I'll be kit bashing to build the post office over here, which the Eisenhower Expressway went through the middle of it. So I'll depict that as well.
Well, Steve, if you work normally, you're supposed to work from back to front. So, but you can do a poll, and no one will know the outcome of it, so you can just choose whatever you want to do anyway.
That's true. I can.
Yeah.
So it's this one here. And where do I do the poll at? You do it in YouTube, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. What's this? Yes, here it is. Start a poll. I'm going to start a poll. Ask a question.
I'll be right back, Steve.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
I added an option. All right. All right, how do I make this thing work now? Oh. Maybe. Maybe not. How do I get it to show? Is it showing?
I don't know. I couldn't see it. I'm on the StreamYard.
What good are you? Come on.
Not much good at all, really.
Is it showing? No poll yet, they're saying. Well, crap, Ola, how do I get this thing to work?
Wish I could help you, Steve, but I don't know.
I'm clicking away. Maybe that did it. There it is. Okay. Okay, should be able to, the poll is up. Bernard. They do like to polish them. John, give me enough time and I'll finally figure it out. Hello, GWR Buckley Junction. Welcome. Hey, Digger, I missed you. Good to see you. I hope I'm going to be able to see the poll. What? Oh, the other poll. All right. So, we've talked about one mail call already because I've opened up all my mail for the week. I was antsy. I wanted to get it installed so that I could show it off this week. So I got the intermediate in and wired. I will eventually jumper it across when I put the other train spotter sensor in. And I'm really impressed with these train spotter sensors too. You know, it works in the dark. You know, you figure that the two in sensors are eventually going to be inside of buildings, and yet they're still going to work.
But you had to turn those ones on the end sideways, correct?
They're laid down. Yeah, they have three different sensors. They have ones that are long with them pointed up on the end, which is normally what they have for under the track. Then they have a remote one, and I had a couple of remote ones I sent to Jason. I don't know if he ever used them or not. I'll answer your question here in a minute. You have another one coming, Jason. And then they have one that could go in a building and shoots diagonal across. I mean, not diagonal. Shoots across the track. Those are the ones I use, but instead of shooting that way, I lay it down under the track, shooting up. Okay? And they work great.
If you install them correctly.
Yes, yeah, if you install them correctly. I've installed them correctly.
Okay.
I haven't messed that. I haven't messed that up. Although, let's get on to the second mail call. Some of you from last week may recall, or from an earlier mail call, I've had this rheostat with an off switch. I've had this for like a year plus, waiting to use it on this project. So I wired it up, and I believe I had it wired last week, didn't I, John? Did I show how?
So. Yeah.
And I showed how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it worked great. And then Saturday, when I wanted to run it manually,
it didn't
work. And I figured out why. This rheostat is for lights. There's a hot in, a hot out, and a ground, not, an actual ground. So the little board inside there didn't work the next day. Okay. Even though everything was off and so forth, it just shot craps. So my second mail call, in the cover picture, I went ahead and ordered a motor control unit. And I will switch again. And the motor control unit, and I will zoom in. It's this one on the very end. Okay, can you see that?
On the right end or left end?
The motorman's on the left end. Okay, the right. Then in the middle there, well, left center is the added switch from the motorman that you can. It's either off, it's normal, or it's to the left is motorman operation. Then you have two double pole switches. One, the lower one, controls whether you're running DC or DCC manual. So when you switch the motorman over to normal, all right, then that lower double pole, double throw switch controls what you're gonna do, DC or DCC. The upper one is for reversing direction. It's another double pole, double throw. The lower one has a center off position. The upper one does not. And that really wasn't needed. It was with the switch that burned out, but it's not with the motor control unit there on the right. And that's the one with a little red power light to it. Okay? And there's a little dial that you can vary your speed, and a double pole, double throw, center off switch underneath the little dial. So I'm going to run over there, and let's zoom out a little bit through the magic of and a little bit more. All right, so now we can see the whole thing. So, right now I'm on motorman, so I'm going to switch it to off. Actually, I'm going to switch it to motorman again and get it off the sensor. All right, now it's off. Now I'm going to switch it to normal. Now normal means manual control. Okay, so I could right now put a DCC little switcher on here and run it from my throttle. Okay, just like it was on the regular track, because that's what it basically is at this point. Or that would be if it was to the left. To the right, it is now on manual control DC, but it's still in the center off position here. Okay, so if I turn it on, and I don't know which direction is going to go which way, and then use the dial, there we go. I can now run it manually. And if I take this off, this is, and the only reason I did this is so when kids come to visit, instead of them touching everything else, I can come over here, put them on this, and let them run the trolley. All right, and I can switch it and reverse it and do whatever I want. So, and again, this is manual control, so it's not stopping at the sensors. The only problem, and I was befuddled, is that, okay, this thing has been going back and forth over all these sensors. Well, the sensors are reading that. So I don't, the first time I did it, I couldn't get the trolley to run the right way. Well, it's supposed to reset direction when you hit stop and then run on the motorman. And it wasn't doing that because somehow or another it defaulted back to not to do that. All right, so we'll try it now. We'll put it back to Motorman and see if it's going to work or not. All right, we're in center off, center off, center off. All right, so now we're going to go back to Motorman. All right, and we got to see if it's going to stop at the sensors like it's supposed to. Okay, it stops at the intermediate one. Okay, it's set. What happens is it gets out of sync when it's passed by one sensor or the other. So it senses this one and it thinks it needs to go that way instead of this way, if that makes sense.
Partial, just like there. Yeah.
Huh? What?
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Father-in-law.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. Okay. So Bernard wants to know if the rheostat's just for control on DC. Yes, because DCC is you're controlled on your throttle. It's just for manual control on DC. Manual control on DCC is you get your throttle out and you run DCC. You switch everything to manual DCC and then you run it on your throttle. Yeah, I caught that, Bernard. So yes, it's only using the manual DC mode. You know, manual DCC mode, and we can do that just for you, Bernard. Just for you. All right, we got our little we'll switch them off. All right. We'll put our little switcher on.
So, Steve, that will only work if you have a DCC chip in that streetcar.
Correct. If I put like one of these streetcars could be DC and another one could be DCC. All right. This is a dummy here, but this one works. So this is number 5. And we switch it to manual. We switch this. Now we put over to DC and it should run. If I turn track power on, that always helps. Because now we're isolated. We're on the DCC system, not on the DC system and not on the Motorman. Okay? So there we go. So manual control DCC is through the throttle.
Okay.
Manual control for DC is this motor. It's more than a rheostat. It's a motor control unit. I learned that one the hard way. Yeah, it cost me. That was a $10 mistake.
It's only money.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is I've had that rheostat, the original one, that blue smoked, so to speak. I've had that for over a year. So, okay, so that kind of did I explain that well enough to everybody?
Sort of, kind of.
Sort of, kind of. Oh, now if I put this this DC thing back on it, all of a sudden things start humming. All right, so we need to take it off of DCC. All right, and we'll just put it over to DC and back to off, and we'll put this back on, and turn the Motorman back on, and away we go.
Now, you're going to make a cheat sheet to mount there too, to explain this to anybody that comes over to run trains with you, so they don't mess up.
What's to mess up your search?
Only I would do that, right?
Yeah, only you would do that, John.
Yeah.
The whole idea is you bring a kid in, all right, and you set it up for him. You switch it over to the DC and say, okay, here's your throttle. You can make it go fast or slow, and here's your reversing switch, and have fun. just like a circle of track that we all got for Christmas. I say we all, when we were kids. That's basically what it boils down to. It's a lazy dog bone up here. So 18 sexy, you can go away. Bye. John, why don't you take care of that? Oh, because you're not a moderator.
No.
I can make you one though.
Can I do it through StreamYard though?
No.
Yeah.
You might be able to. Hang on. I don't know. We'll find out. All right.
Well, what's 18 sexy XYZ?
Oh, I can't.
Like?
I don't know, but I can't do it because you're not on.
Yeah.
You have to be on YouTube for me to make you a moderator. Who knows? It may have been Rita.
Yeah.
You know who Rita is, John?
I've heard the name. I haven't seen her.
Rick Bailey, Phyllis Bailey Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in his intro to his
like that
videos, he's got this hot chick that's kind of an alternate way of being,
Oh, not when he was wearing his wig, was it?
No.
Oh, okay, because that wasn't hot.
No. You'll have to watch one of his videos to see Rita. It's not Rita. Jason says it's his mystery woman. Okay, that reminds me. Jason has a question. How many Wilson reefers do I have now? So I got to count them again. I think it's 6. 2. I should probably just get into JMRI and count them too.
So 2, 2, and 2, is that 6?
No.
Oh.
I think they're all in staging. They're all on the way to you, Jason. They're loaded up and coming your way. I only have 2, 3. 2. Right, let me look in roster. No, operations. Cars. All right. And road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. I got 6, Jason.
Lynn was telling Jason, it looks like you have as many mystery women as I have exes.
I think Lynn's been married 4 times, and his current wife it's the second time around with her, I think. So Lynn will correct me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong.
Does that count as 2 or 1? If you remarry him?
It depends on. It doesn't count for an extra wife, but it counts as an extra marriage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've been married 5 times to 4 women.
Well, we don't.
Hey, there's Robert, the Flying Crow. Current wife is a widow. Okay. Weren't you married to the same woman twice, Glenn? Or am I dreaming that? Let's switch my camera back. So anyway, I'm real happy with the trolley system. I'll be happier once that other sensor gets in and I get it. And installing it's real tough. All right, there's a little shelf cutaway under here with an opened end. I slide the sensor in. There's a wire holders that I just run the wire holders through, over, down, and to the motorman, and 3 wires, and I got to put that jumper in so it stops both directions. So I mean, literally won't take me 30 minutes to finish the trolley off.
Well, I can say about Steve that his wire management is not the best. Only he can figure out what it is.
It's yeah.
Well,
it's top secret. Can't give away all my secrets. Yeah, but it's all color coded. If you know the color codes, you know how it's wired. So
maybe once you get things.
You are so brave, Lynn. So brave. Taking 3 of your wives on a road trip together. Either brave or stupid. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, though.
Well, didn't he say he did take number 3 on a 3-week road trip? Or is that 3 as in 3?
You can interpret it either way, I think. They want to know if he wanted 1 bed at the hotel.
Or at least a king size.
Yes, Bernard, the delayed stop is adjustable. For instance, on Aurora, the end times are 30 seconds. Okay. On here, I can't remember if the ends are on 15 or 20 seconds, and the intermediate I think is 10 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 10 seconds.
And Lynn says stated it more correctly. The number of 2, 3, and 4 he took, but he couldn't find number 1. So yes, he is crazy.
Yeah.
Or brave. That's a question that only he could answer, if he is crazy
true.
or brave. But he did say they all came
alive.
back alive.
Yeah. That's a story I'm sure they all tell people.
Of course, he hasn't said how many rooms he had for those.
No, but he said that they asked if he wanted 1 bed or not. He didn't say what the answer was.
No.
Oh, he's got a picture of them all, too. Man. Your current wife is understanding, to say the least. Gee, honey, let's take my 2 exes along with us to Utah. My wife would string me up.
Well, at least Utah would be a good state to go if you're taking, additional wives.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I can get this to I can't. It won't allow me to show it anyway. Damn.
Well, hold your phone up to your
Yeah,
camera.
but it won't. I can't post pictures here.
Oh, well, no.
Oh, yeah, I can. Hang on. I know a way. What the hell? Ooh, I know how to do it. Hang on. Bear with me, folks. We gotta share this little tidbit. Hang on, we're gonna share this. We're sharing. Oh, yeah. All right, hang on. We're just about there. All right, here we go. Showing?
Yes, it is.
There's Lynn and 3 of his wives.
Lynn, you're crazy.
Are you
Looks like
Mormon by chance?
all 3 of them could have taken you.
It's a little grainy because I've blown it up to 235%. So, all right. All right, let's get back here. Boy.
But now you can't get out of it?
No, I'm out. Oh,
Oh, you're
I
still
just got to
showing.
change it. I know. I just
Oh, there
because I
you
didn't change it. Well, it's not even the right. That's not the right camera. That's the right camera. There we go. Too many cameras. Oh my gosh. Only in California. Only in California. Is your dog back there?
Mine?
Bernard's.
Oh.
Bernard says you got a dog back there to keep you contained.
Yeah, I've got 2 dogs and 3 cats. So I don't see any of the dogs right now. There's
Hey, JB.
one laying on the bed in there, but I don't.
Ah, okay.
See it. Duke, come here. He said no. He's sleeping.
Yes, John. He said he had 2 dogs. I don't know where they're at, but you have better eyes than I do.
Well, one's laying under the bed and one's laying on the bed.
I can't see him. How can you see him? Man, he must be watching on a 80-inch TV and magnifiers. John says they listen just like kids.
Yeah.
Hey, Chesco, how you doing, buddy?
They are kids. That is true. Yeah. They're not happy that mommy isn't here, but. Yeah, the crates are under the train layout. That's the only place I had to put them. And unfortunately, when people come over, I got to lock them in there because they're not mean dogs, but they're too friendly.
Ah.
Yes. People that's been here a lot, they can stay out because they know them then. But my big dog is my daughter's dog, and she'll be here tomorrow from the Netherlands. When she went there, she could only take one of her 2 dogs, or one of her 3 dogs. Since then, one of her dogs has passed away, and we got the other old man here. Don't even know how old he is.
Yeah, I remember the one that passed.
Yeah. Darcy was a sweetie. But they do limit me to what I can do and can't do because, you can only leave them in the crate for so long. And my father-in-law can't take care of them, so.
Huh. Mystic John 7 ask a question. Is silicone wire okay to use for feeders? I think it's more about gauge, John, than anything else. I mean, I wouldn't go much smaller than 18 gauge for feeders, personally. My bus lines are 14 gauge, and then my feeders are all 18 gauge.
Well, the silicone wire is just easier to strip by hand. You can use your fingernails to pull the casing off.
Yeah, it tends to be more flexible too.
Yeah.
I use that more on decoder installs.
Yeah, I've had a dog like that too. Randall.
Well, today marked the 18th time an unrestrained dog, and I call it attacking, an unwanted approach. Let's put it that way. My dog is afraid of little dogs, and this was a little Frenchie. And when little dogs keep pecking at her, all right, she will get upset and tear them a new one. So I kept yelling at the guy to come and get his dog, and he just meanders over. And I'm trying to keep him separated with my foot. And the guy says, "You don't have to kick my dog." I said, "Yeah, I do." So, I mean, I'm a dog person, but I'm also respectful of other people. You don't just let a dog loose. It's against the law. In most jurisdictions, anyway. It is here.
So Jason says try having 2 female Great Danes.
Oh boy!
I couldn't imagine having one Great Dane. They're like miniature horses.
I had friends in Dallas that had 3 or 4 Great Danes. I mean, they're like horses. Yeah, and people that own little dogs, oh, it's okay, he won't hurt you. That's not the point.
Well, my little female dog has grown to hate other females.
Oh.
And a female can't come around her without her attacking it. So.
Well, and Penny is great with other dogs. She really is. Mm-hmm. As long as the introduction is controlled.
Yeah.
Okay? And like when we go to the dog park, if there's a new dog there, one that she doesn't know, I'll keep Penny on a leash and ask that the other dog stay on a leash until Penny and the other dog can sniff and get to know each other, and then we let them loose, and they'll bicker a little bit until they sort out who's in charge. And I don't have a problem with that. Okay. But just to be walking down the sidewalk and have a dog come over and start terrorizing, you know, I'm not tolerant of that. Let's just put it that way. True, Jason. Very true. No to drop, yeah. $18 times in 4 years, Penny and I have been through this. That's why I have my body cam. So I get video of it, and I just turn them into the county and let the county fine them. It's like a $500 fine for a dog off a leash.
It's just Peaches. She's a mutt.
Hello, Peaches.
She's a German Shepherd Basset Hound.
Oh boy.
Big head, little short legs. Right? And she thinks she's a lap dog, but she weighs about 30 pounds.
Yeah, Bernard, aren't Great Danes like 7-8 years on the average? Whereas most dogs are 13 to 15, maybe? All right. What else is everybody doing? Anybody doing anything this weekend? Oh, by the way, my Motorman was my Christmas present.
Didn't you get it a little early?
Well, there's a box under the
Yeah,
tree in there.
Yeah, I know. Does your wife know that yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I told him to put some weights in it, so she at least
Well, I
thinks
kind of
there's something in there.
I kind of slipped up and show her how it worked.
Ah,
So. Okay, so the lesson to be, and there's a tip of the day on the train spotters coming out in like a few weeks, on the train spotter and the motor control, how I screwed up, but also how I corrected it. So. A ghost town module. Hey Lynn, I've got my mini print stuff, the ghosts and the zombies and stuff. If you want them, shoot me an email with your address. I'll ship them over to you because I'm never going to use my ghosts or zombies.
hey, John, have a great weekend.
All right, John, we'll see ya.
Just remember, you can never have enough Johns in any live stream.
Yeah, Steve's rule, the rest of you drool. Just ask 3Dub.
Hey, but look,
Or-
everybody needs a
Or
John.
plumber. Yeah, everybody does need a John. Well, not really mandatory, but okay.
I do have plenty of trees on my property too, so.
Okay. Good enough, Lynn. The offer's there if you want them.
And JB, that's correct. John's rule.
Yeah. 3Dub agrees with me. And we're the only two that matter. It's my stream. I'll do what I want.
Yes.
It's Rule 1 applied in application. Well, we're right at an hour today, guys. So I think we're going to 9 years, 7. Wow, Bernard, that's just huge. So I knew they had shorter life expectancy than the average dog. So anyway, John, again, my thoughts and prayers are with you, buddy, and I'm here. For those that came in late, John lost his wife of 41 years earlier this week and shocked me and showed up for the live stream. All right. And everybody copes in different ways. And John, I'm sure glad you decided to join us today.
I just wanted to be with some of my friends.
Yep. Here for you. Just give me a holler anytime. All right?
Very good.
All right, guys. With that, we're going to close her out. I want to thank you for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad. I'm Steve, my co-host John, and y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.